I've been playing piano since I was 7. I started teaching in college, and for the past decade, I've owned a music school with hundreds of students, many of them adults. And you know what I've seen over and over again? Adults coming to me frustrated. They've tried learning piano before, but they've gotten stuck, wasting time on the wrong things, second-guessing themselves, or quitting because they thought they just weren't naturally talented. I know exactly why that happens, and I know how to fix it. That's why I created Pianoly, because most traditional methods slow you down, overwhelm you, or make learning feel way harder than it actually is. If I had to take everything I've learned from 15 years of teaching and give you the best advice, these are the biggest things I wish every student knew. So let's get into it. Mindset is everything. The #1 killer of progress. Before we even talk about technique, let's talk about the biggest reason people fail at learning the piano, and it has nothing to do with talent or practice time. It's mindset. I've seen so many students quit not because they couldn't learn, but because they convinced themselves they couldn't. They start thinking, I'm just not naturally talented. I'm too busy to get good at this. I'm not improving fast enough. Maybe piano just isn't for me. And guess what? Once you believe that, you make it true. You start avoiding practice, hesitating, feeling frustrated every time you sit down at the piano. Here's the truth. Every great pianist struggled at first. Every single one. The only difference between someone who gets good at piano and someone who quits, the person who gets good kept going even when they felt stuck. You don't need to be talented, you don't need to practice for hours a day, you just need to show up consistently and trust the process. So next time you catch yourself thinking, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, remind yourself, you are learning a brand new skill. Of course it's going to feel hard sometimes. Progress isn't always obvious day to day, but if you keep going, you will get better. The people who sound amazing at piano, they didn't quit when they struggled. This is the #1 thing that helps people who succeed from people who give up. So if you only take one thing from this video, let it be this: mindset is everything. If something feels hard, that's normal. One of the biggest mistakes I see students make is assuming that struggling means they're doing something wrong. It doesn't. Struggling is part of the process. If something feels difficult, that's not a sign you're bad at piano. It's a sign you're learning something new. I can't tell you how many students have come to me saying, I just can't reach octaves. Maybe my hands are too small. I keep messing up the sustain pedal. I must not have good coordination. I can't play hands together. It's like my brain can't handle it. Every single one of these things is completely normal when you're learning. Can't reach octaves yet? Keep playing and your hands will eventually naturally stretch over time. Struggling with the pedal? It's a coordination thing. It comes with repetition. Hands don't feel independent? That's muscle memory, and it will build the more you practice. Your brain and your hands need time to adjust to new movements. It's just like learning to drive. At first, it feels impossible to do everything at once. But one day, without even realizing, it will click. So instead of thinking, why can't I do this yet? Shift your mindset to, this is hard right now, but it's supposed to be. I'll get there if I just keep practicing. Everything that feels impossible today will feel easier someday, but only if you keep going. Don't overload yourself with too many methods. A lot of students think the more they learn at once, the faster they'll improve. But actually the opposite happens. If you're bouncing between different YouTube tutorials, downloading random apps, and trying 5 different practice routines at once, you're not actually learning faster. You're just overwhelming yourself. I see this all the time. Students will say, should I be doing scales every day, or Hanon, or some other warm-up? Should I learn classical first or chords first? Do I need to practice sight reading or just play by ear? The truth? It doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is that you pick a method and stick with it. If you're constantly switching approaches, you're never actually committing to any of them, which means you're stuck in the endless cycle of starting over instead of making real progress. So whatever method you're using, whether it's mine or someone else's, go all in on it. Give it time to work before you start second guessing everything. Piano isn't about learning everything at once. It's about learning the right things in the right order. If you stay focused, you'll improve so much faster. Stop playing songs that are too advanced. This is one of the fastest ways to frustrate yourself and burn out. I get it. You hear a song you love, you want to play it right now, so you find a tutorial and dive in. But 30 seconds in, your hands aren't keeping up, the rhythm feels off, and you start thinking, maybe I'm just not good at piano. The problem isn't you, it's the song. If a piece is way above your level, it's like trying to run before you've learned to walk. It's not that you'll never be able to play it, it's just that you don't have the building blocks yet. I see students making this mistake all the time. They pick a song with complex rhythms they've never practiced, fast chord changes their hands can't keep up with, melodies that require finger control they haven't developed yet. Instead of forcing yourself through a frustrating version of a song, simplify it. Just play the chords first. Slow it down way more than you think you need to. Work on small sections instead of trying to play the whole thing. And most importantly, build your skills first. Learn the chord progressions, the inversions, and the rhythm patterns so that when you do play the song, it actually feels easy. Your favorite songs will always be there. If you take the time to build a strong foundation first, you'll be able to play them better and faster in the long run. Learn chords first. The best way to learn piano fast. If you want to start playing real songs quickly, the best thing you can do is learn chords first. This is exactly how I teach my students because it works. Here's the order I recommend. Chords first, because they are the foundation of almost every song. Improvisation second, so you get comfortable moving around the piano, and then lead sheets last, because once you know the chords and patterns, reading music feels natural instead of overwhelming. Most traditional methods teach the opposite way, starting with reading sheet music first, memorizing note names, and playing nursery rhymes. But that's a slow way to learn because it doesn't help you sound good fast. Think about it. When you hear a song, you're hearing chords. So instead of struggling through individual notes, if you know your chords, you can already play the basic structure of almost any song. And once you're comfortable with chords, you can start adding melody, play around with the rhythm, and develop your own style. This method makes you feel like a winner the whole time because instead of spending months learning random exercises, you're actually playing music from day one. So if you've been stuck struggling with notation or thinking piano is too hard, try learning chords first. You'll be shocked at how much faster everything clicks. By the way, if you're tired of piecing together everything on your own and want a proven step-by-step system that takes you from zero to playing real songs faster than traditional lessons, I've got something for you. I've created a free training where I walk you through the exact process I used to help my students to learn piano fast, play their favorite songs, and enjoy the process. If you want to start playing piano the right way, click the link in the description and check it out after this video. All right, let's get back into it. Learn how to practice the right way. Most students don't actually know how to practice effectively. They sit down at the piano, play their song from start to finish, mess up, start over, mess up again, and keep repeating that cycle, hoping they'll eventually get better. That's not how improvement works. Here's what effective practice actually looks like. Number 1, pinpoint the problem area. Don't just restart the song every time you mess up. Figure out exactly where the mistake is happening. 2, slow it down. If you can't play something correctly at full speed, that means you need to slow it way down until your hands can move accurately. Speed comes later. Number 3, loop it. Once you've found the problem and slowed it down, repeat just that section until it's smooth. This is what professional musicians do. They don't just play through mistakes, they zoom in, fix them, and then put everything back together. I tell my students all the time, narrow in on the problem area. If you just keep playing a song from start to finish, you're spending most of your practice time playing the parts you're already good at, while avoiding the sections that actually need work. If you start practicing with intention instead of just playing songs on repeat, you'll improve 10 times faster. Stop judging yourself. Adults overthink too much. I see this all the time with adult students. Kids will play something, doesn't matter if it's messy, doesn't matter if it sounds bad, and they'll proudly run to their parents saying, "Look what I did." Adults, totally different story. They say, "Ugh, I sound terrible. I'll never be good at this. Why am I so slow?" At some point, we stop enjoying the process of learning and start judging ourselves for not being perfect. But here's the thing, you are learning a brand new skill. It's like learning a new language. You wouldn't expect to be fluent in Spanish after a few lessons. So why do you expect to be flawless at piano right away? The best students, the ones who actually improve, aren't the ones who are naturally gifted. They're the ones who aren't afraid to sound bad while they're learning. So instead of saying, "I suck at this," Shift to thinking, I'm learning something new and this is part of the process. Every great player struggled at first. I will get better if I just keep going. You'll be amazed at how much enjoyable playing piano feels when you stop judging yourself and just let yourself learn. If you have a teacher, go all in on their method. This might be a tough one to hear, but if you have a teacher and you trust their method, stop distracting yourself with other approaches. I see this all the time. Students will take lessons with a teacher, but in between the lessons, they're watching a bunch of random YouTube tutorials, trying out different practice routines, or second guessing everything because they saw someone else say, you should be learning this way instead. Here's the reality. Every great teacher has a method. If you're constantly switching between different ways of learning, you're never fully committing to any of them, which means you're making your progress way slower. Either trust your teacher and go all in on their approach, or if you don't believe in their method, find someone else. But bouncing between different styles and trying to piece everything together yourself, that's just going to leave you confused, overwhelmed, and stuck in beginner mode forever. Piano isn't about finding the perfect method, it's about sticking to a method long enough to see results. Stop obsessing over warm-ups. Just pick one. A lot of students waste time trying to figure out the perfect warm-up routine. They ask things like, should I be doing scales every day? Are hand and exercises better? What's the best finger exercise for speed? And while warming up is important, the truth is, you don't need to spend hours researching the best one. Just pick a method and go with it. Whether it's scales, arpeggios, chord drills, finger exercises, they all work as long as you're consistent. Spending 5 to 10 minutes warming up is enough. What really matters is that you're spending most of your time practicing real music. So stop stressing over which warm-ups are the best. Pick one that works for you and get to the good stuff, actually playing the piano. Make piano part of your daily routine. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to improve at the piano isn't because they lack talent. It's because they don't practice consistently. If you only sit down at the piano once or twice a week, you're constantly relearning what you practiced last time instead of building on it. The real key to progress is small daily practice sessions. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day is better than one long practice session once a week. When you start to practice daily, your brain and muscles stay engaged with what you're learning and things start clicking much faster. If you struggle to stay consistent, schedule it into your day. Play first thing in the morning. Take a quick practice break during lunch. Make it part of your nighttime routine. The more automatic it becomes, the easier it is to stick with it. And before you know it, you'll see massive improvements just by showing up consistently. Don't just play, listen. A lot of students focus so much on what their hands are doing that they forget to actually listen to what they're playing. Here's the thing. Your ears are just as important as your fingers when it comes to learning piano. Record yourself playing sometimes to catch things you need to work on and listen to other pianists online. You'll be amazed at how much easier playing becomes when you just stop pressing the notes and start to truly hear the music. Have fun and keep going. At the end of the day, learning piano should be fun. If you're constantly stressed, frustrated, or feeling like you're not progressing fast enough, take a step back and remind yourself why you started in the first place. Play songs you love, experiment with sounds, give yourself permission to just enjoy the process instead of always trying to get better. Because here's the truth, you will improve as long as you keep going. And the only way to fail at piano is to quit. So if you ever feel stuck, frustrated, or like you're not good enough, remember, every great player struggled at first. The difference is they kept going. And if you do too, you'll be amazed at where you end up. Before you go, I recommend watching my free on-demand training that walks you step-by-step through the exact process I use to help my students learn piano faster, play the songs they love, and actually enjoy the journey. This method works, and it's helped hundreds of students get from zero to playing real songs faster than traditional lessons. If you're ready to take the next step and start transforming your piano playing, click the link in the description to watch the training with instant access. Let's get you on the path to playing piano the right way. And if this video helped you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.